The Northwest Rebellion was a violent battle in between the Canadian government, including John A. Macdonald, against the Métis with Dumont and Louis Riel. It was caused by many problems, such as the building of the railway, cultural conflicts, minority rights, and also land issues.
During the building of the railway, the price increased so much, forcing the Canadian government to take away funds from the Indian Department. The railway was also built through the homeland of the Métis, ruining their privacy and land.
The cultural conflicts and mistreatment of the Métis was also a problem, leading to the rebellion. The government mistreated the Métis by forcing them into residential schools and also forcing them onto reserves.
The government didn't respect the Métis and their rights as humans, leading to Dumont and other Métis to convince Louis Riel to return for the Métis, who needed him.
Being exiled in the United States, the Métis leader, Louis Riel, returns to help out and lead with Dumont's Métis army. Then he realizes his time is now, coming back and making the Bill of
Rights.
The Battle of Duck Lake was an infantry skirmish just outside Duck Lake, Saskatchewan, between the NWMP forces of the Government of Canada versus the Métis militia of Louis Riel's newly established Provisional Government of Saskatchewan. The forces met. Gabriel Dumont ordered his men to set up defensive positions around the log cabin and lie in wait, while the NWMP did similar actions as both took defensive positions. The aftermath was in the Métis' favor. 12 men were killed and 11 men were seriously injured for the NWP's army, while 5 Métis warriors were just killed in the skirmish, including Dumont's brother. The battle then went on to Fish Creek.
As the militia began advancing from Clark's Crossing on April 23rd, Dumont took 200 men and rode out from Batoche.
When a false report arrived that the Northwest Mounted Police were advancing on Batoche, Riel returned there with 50 men. Dumont stationed most of his men in the coulee, where he set to work digging rifle pits. The militia would cross the coulee the next day, and it was then that the concealed men in the rifle pits would ambush them.
The Métis attacked Middleton's men with one devastating wave of fire before withdrawing into cover and restricting themselves to sniper fire in order to conserve ammunition.
Middleton's men attacked Riel and Dumont's army with little effect, while Riel and Dumont's men were counterattacking them with heavy damage.
However, Middleton, distressed by the casualties he was taking, erred on the side of caution and opted for retreat, with 11 Métis dead and 18 wounded, while Middleton's army took defeat with 10 dead and 40 wounded.
The battle then went on to Batoche.
The Battle of Batoche was the final battle that decided the victory or loss of the Métis army and the Canadian Middleton army. Going into this battle, the Canadian Middleton army had a huge advantage with 916 men, as Métis only had 250.
The three-day war led to Louis Riel's defeat. The greater numbers and superior firepower of Middleton's army could not be successfully countered by the Métis, which then led to Louis Riel's death and the collapse of the Provisional Government. Now leads to Louis Riel's trial and execution.
On August 3, 1885, Louis Riel was sentenced to death by judge. Then, on November 16, 1885, Louis Riel was hung in Regina. Louis Riel was on trial for treason, and he was hanged for the murder of